Again, in fact, when people ask me, if you ruled the world, what one thing would you do? I think about that a lot.
In Taiwan, the number of people dying after their COVID vaccination is exceeding the number of deaths from the virus itself. Taiwan's health authorities say that as of Monday, deaths after vaccination reached 865, while deaths from the virus are at 845.
It puts the needle in its skin. It puts it in whenever it's told.
I'm a pureblood. I don't want the jab. I won't take the vax.
It puts the needle in its skin, or else it gets the pink slip. It puts the needle in its skin.
You can't make me take it. Please! Please don't!
It puts the needle in its skin!
Now, I know parents out there are anxiously waiting for a vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. The good news is the FDA and outside experts from the CDC are set to make its determination as to whether the vaccine will be authorized for that age range in the next few weeks. If authorized, we are ready. We have purchased enough vaccines for all children between the ages of 5 and 11 in the United States.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Then strangled them, and finally dismembered their bodies.
Right.
Then
Available.
and homelessness and all that. And now, the voice you've been waiting for.
There is a secret song at the center of the world, and its sound is like razors through flesh. I'm here to turn up the volume.
The news broke this morning about Colin Powell passing away, and most people only want to say good things about him, you know, the don't speak ill of the dead thing. I am not one of those people. Outside of feeling bad for the loss of his family, fuck him. He was a lying, neocon, warmonger piece of shit that was the architect of the WMD lie. He went up there and he got us to go to a war that I had to fucking fight in because they wanted to remove Saddam over bullshit. And it came out years later that it was bullshit. He knew it was bullshit, but he pushed it on everybody. He went to the fucking UN so that we could get all these other countries to go into that war with us and spend trillions of dollars, lose thousands of lives, kill hundreds of thousands of Iraqi people, and for what? So just excuse the shit out of me if I'm not deeply saddened by the loss of a great man. Horseshit. Personally, I think he should have died in a prison cell as a convicted war criminal, but maybe that's just me. But while we're on the topic of lying pieces of shit...
Southwest Airlines, at the head of the pilots union and its CEO, dismissed critics who claim vaccination mandates contributed to flight disruptions.
Oh, well, the CEO and the union says that it's not true. And of course, CEOs and unions never have any reason to misstate the truth in order to protect their own interests. And in this lovely little Washington Post article, there was a little bit about under the Railway Labor Act negotiations, our union is forbidden from taking out job action to resolve labor disputes under these circumstances. So, no kidding. Them saying, oh, this is not a job action. Yeah, well, you're not allowed to do that, so you couldn't condone it by law. And at the beginning of this article, right above the headline, it claims to be a fact-checking article. Below, nowhere in the article does it actually give. Usually when there's a fact-checking article, they say, oh, the verdict is it's false or true or mostly true or whatever. You know, pants on fire is the rating, whatever. Nothing like that in this whole article. In fact, the closest thing is where they say, well, no pilots have officially come forward to say that it was an action, but We're not going to completely rule out the possibility either. Stranger things have happened, and some of the official statements appear carefully worded. Yeah, like the CEO, when he asked him, hey, people were saying that this is because of the vaccine mandate.
Seeing a lot of people invested in this idea that this is somehow related to vaccine mandates.
There's just no evidence of that. As I said, and as Captain Murray said, our people are working very hard.
He doesn't say, well, that's not true. He says, there's no evidence of that. And then he goes on to say, oh, well, I'm not even a fan of this mandate, but, it's the law and we're just trying to implement the law.
And the vaccine mandate obviously is controversial, and it's not anything that I wish for our company. This is a government mandate. It's a presidential order. And we're doing our best to comply with that according to the deadlines that have been set. We're not going to fire any employees over this. We're urging all of our employees to get vaccinated. If they can't get vaccinated, we're urging them to seek an accommodation. So, we'll do everything we can to support our people here.
Well, why are you even talking about the mandate if this has nothing to do with that? And then assuring people that nobody's going to get fired. Oh, we'll make every accommodation to make sure nobody loses their job over this mandate. Which, as the Washington Post article points out, this was a 180-degree shift in position. On October 4th, they had said people would be terminated. And this douchebag CEO had personally said that the provisions for medical and religious exemptions are very limited. But clearly, thinking that this shit had anything to do with the vaccine mandate, oh, that's just crazy talk. Crazy. We also had the jobs numbers for September come in this week. They were not good.
All right. Hello. Okay. Just a couple of items for you at the top. Today we learned that last week's initial unemployment claims fell to another pre-pandemic low, down below 300,000 for the first time in almost 20 months. The 4-week average similarly fell to a new low, down nearly 60% from when President Biden took office. This is a testament to the progress we've made on the economy, thanks to President Biden's success in getting Americans vaccinated and getting economic relief to the middle class. The week before the president took office, just to give you a few points of reference, jobless claims were at nearly 900,000. Now they're down to 293,000. We've created nearly 5 million jobs in 8 months. That's 600,000 new jobs every month on average, 10 times the rate we inherited. Growth is up, wages are up, and our unemployment rate is down below 5%, 18 months faster than forecasters predicted earlier this year.
Boy, she does a great job at turning dog shit into diamonds, doesn't she? I mean, you hear all that and you think, wow, things are going pretty good. And when you talk about the number of jobless claims going down, that doesn't exactly give a very clear picture of what's going on. She forgot, of course, to mention that the September job creation numbers came out at less than 200,000, 194,000. They were expecting a lot more than that. And that's down from August, which was 235,000 when they were expecting way more than that. It's gone down for the past 4 months. But everything's okay because not as many people are filing for unemployment. And then she says, oh, we've created nearly 5 million jobs in the past 8 months. So I guess we're not going to talk about the 4.3 million people that quit their jobs just in August. It's gotten to the point where it's even been coined the Great Resignation. Who could have possibly foreseen that people wouldn't be so keen to go back to making sandwiches, stocking shelves, and ringing people up after a year and a half of sitting there being able to do whatever you want and getting free money from the government?
I like money.
I gotta hand it to her, though. It's really amazing to be able to come out and take a abysmal jobs report number and turn it into, we're doing so great. A couple weeks ago, I had talked about the backlog of shipping containers that were just sitting off the port in California waiting to be offloaded. And then this past Wednesday, President Biden comes out and makes his announcement that, oh, we're going to start running the port 24/7 to take care of this and make sure everything gets to people and that Christmas will be saved. Of course, you have to wonder what's going to happen when that bottleneck shifts to the distribution centers, or the problem with not having enough truckers to move it all at an increased pace. Simply running the ports quicker isn't going to solve the whole problem. The supply chain is a little more complex than that, but we'll see how that works out.
Biden critics taking to Twitter as store shelves go bare. The hashtag empty store shelves is trending as the supply chain crisis continues ahead of the holiday season. You've got labor shortages, backlogs, inflation, all of it expected to spill over into next year. Joining me now, former Walmart U.S. President and CEO, WSS Venture Holdings President, and KKR Senior Advisor, Bill Simon. Bill, you're saying you have never seen retail shelves this empty. Just what are your thoughts on the big picture here?
Morning, Dagan. No, I've never seen it like this, and I don't really think anybody living in this country has. I mean, this is really unprecedented. The supply chain is a mess from start to finish. You know, they're backed up in the ports in Asia. They're backed up on the water. They're backed up at the ports in the U.S. There's a shortage of truck drivers. There's a shortage of labor in our distribution system, and there's a shortage of people to put it on the shelf. Other than that, everything's going pretty well.
What is all of those problems that you just listed, what is the one that is most easily fixed? I know that the administration has moved to operate the Port of Los Angeles 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The big retailers like Walmart have been leasing or chartering their own ships to make sure supplies get here. But broadly speaking, which one of those links in the chain is the easiest fix?
Well, the easiest would be to get more labor, I mean, it's a difficult thing in the environment that we're operating in, but I don't think this gets solved until we alleviate the labor shortage that's out there and get people driving trucks and unloading at the docks and stocking shelves. And that's really what has to happen. Short of that, there has to be an increase in supply, and hopefully the ports operating 24/7 will begin to alleviate some of that. But an increase in supply or a reduction in demand, and that's, I think, happening in and of itself with price increases. So, you know, we have to reach some sort of equilibrium, and we haven't yet. Operating the port 24/7 sounds good, and it sounds like you're taking action, but if it's not here yet, it's mid-October, Dagan. If it's not here yet, it's not getting to the shelves by Christmas time. And I think you'll Walmart and Costco and Target and the big retailers will find a way to get product through, some sort of product through. It's just the small ones. They're just going to be left with nothing. It's going to be difficult for them.
It makes me also wonder if it has anything to do with a week before that, the Florida Ports Council and DeSantis basically coming out and saying, hey, you know, the ports in Florida are open and we got enough staff to unload everything. You don't need to sit off the coast of California for weeks and weeks waiting for your shit to get offloaded. Just come here. And then right after that, all of a sudden, oh yeah, no, now we're going to get it taken care of. I also want to talk about the cringy-ass video that Kamala Harris did with what turned out to be child actors. She brought some kids to the Naval Observatory, to her vice presidential residence, and was talking to them like they were fucking babies.
Very nice to meet you, Zoriel. Nice to meet you, Emily. Nice to meet you, Emily. Welcome.
And I just love the idea of exploring the unknown. And then there's other things that we just haven't figured out or discovered yet. To think about so much that's out there that we still have to learn. Like, I love that. I love that. And so I'm very excited about the Space Council. We're going to learn so much. You guys are going to see. You're going to literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes.
Oh, my goodness.
With your own eyes. I'm telling you, it is going to be unbelievable. So that's one of the things we can do here too, which makes it so exciting. So that's what we're going to do. You guys ready to go over there?
Yes.
Come on, let's go.
We then headed to the Naval Observatory, where we met Captain Keene and asked him what they did there.
We do time, and we do space.
They didn't have to wear any masks when they were sitting there on our patio. Somehow that was magically a COVID-free zone, but now I guess they gotta put them on. I don't know, maybe the only person that's added to the mix is Captain Kangaroo there, but somehow now all of a sudden the masks are required. It's like the whole, oh, you're safe when you're sitting at your table at the restaurant, but when you get up to go to the bathroom, that's when you could catch COVID, so you gotta put your mask on for that.
Look at the design of this thing. And the people and the smart people and the scientists and the engineers who came up with the idea that if you build something that looks like that, you can see the sun.
Yeah.
And you can see the moon, right? Well, wait till you guys see the moon. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about those craters on the moon. Always dream with ambition. Have big dreams. You'll remember that?
Yes.
All right, I'll see you later.
See you later.
Everybody thought the video was cringy before they even found out that these kids were child actors. And then when that came out, YouTube released a statement saying that, oh, well, actually it wasn't Kamala Harris that got these child actors, it was actually YouTube that did that. For some reason, they thought that that would make it less creepy. And there was also this wonderful story about the singer Demi Lovato, who said the dumbest thing I've heard since Jessica Simpson had a reality TV show. She made headlines for saying that we shouldn't refer to aliens as aliens. I'm not talking about illegal aliens that cross the border. I'm talking about extraterrestrials. It could hurt their feelings to be called aliens. As if they're going to have any of the stupid hang-ups that humans have about, oh, well, some words are okay, but some words are hurtful because of a context that some third party added to the word. Yes, because any civilization that's so advanced that they could achieve intergalactic travel would be so fragile that we have to worry about them getting their fucking feelings hurt over something so vapid and superficial and shallow as what fucking word we decide to call them. If I had been the one interviewing her and she said that, I would just be like, wow, you know you just said that out loud, right? And these are the kind of half-wits that we're supposed to hold up on some pedestal. She should definitely stick to singing because thinking is definitely outside of her wheelhouse. And speaking of unbelievable stupidity, there is a hospital in West Texas that part of their COVID protocol, whenever patients are confirmed COVID positive, when they transport them anywhere within the hospital to do a test or what have you, they put a plastic bag over their fucking head. This is something that even little children know better than. I mean, there's a warning on practically all of the plastic bags you find that says, do not put over your head because it could be a suffocation hazard. In this new age of dangerous medical misinformation, we're being warned over and over again not to think for ourselves, not to challenge anything, not to do your own research, but to just trust the professionals. Trust the people that know better, because they would never do anything so fucking stupid as to possibly suffocate you just to transport you down a hallway. Who needs critical thinking anyway? Just do what you're told, obey, comply, and everything will be just fine. Sláinte.
All I have in this world is my thoughts and my words, and I don't break them for no one. You understand? So say good night to the bad guy. 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 Come on. Come on. night, so say good night to the bad guy. So say good night, so say good night to the bad guy. So say good night, so say good night to the bad guy. So say good night, so say good night, so say good night to the bad guy. So say good night, so say good night to the bad guy. So say good night, so say good night, so say good night to the bad guy. I told you, don't fuck with me. I told you, don't fuck with me.